Because of some unique airfield conditions, I have developed a preferred landing technique in operating my stock J3 Cub from my home field. The conventional landing gear pilots know the three-point landing. It is indispensable when runway length is restricted and when you must have the absolute minimum touchdown speed, such as with an off-airport landing. It seems like that was the only landing we really practiced when we were learning to fly the Cub back in the day. Now here's another three-point landing. And I guess I'm bragging on my 3 points because I've got another one here too. And of course, we also use the wheel landing, where the tail is high, in level flight position, speed and power are used, and the main gear is flown on. Wheel landings are most often used in extreme wind conditions. The little airstrip where I fly from has a single runway, and the surface has every hazard known to exist except rocks. I had no idea what a beating the little J3 tail wheel was taking until I tied on a GoPro and watched a video on the tail. Ouch! And the runway is perched atop a long ridge in the windy western Great Plains. It seems like the wind always blows and is never straight down the strip. It blows up and over the ridge top and down the other side. Strong crosswinds are the reason I can't often rely on a three-point landing. Here in this clip, the gusty crosswind from the right is playing with it. Even right at sunset, we get these terrible crosswinds. It's not unusual, but it sure is a lot of fun. Ah, finally. I've started using an intermediate landing technique where the tail is lower and the speed is less than a wheel landing, but not quite the three-point configuration. I call it the hybrid landing. I think it captures the best of both techniques. In this clip, you can see how the tail behaves in a hybrid landing with a gusty crosswind coming from the left of the plane. With my hybrid, the final approach is the standard 55 to 60 miles an hour. Over the threshold, I add in about 1600 RPM with my Continental A65, and at the same time get the windward wing down to stop drift. Then it's time to really get on the rudders and keep my runway alignment, and to start my flare. In the flare, I have to be looking out both sides to keep straight, centered, and easing down to hopefully just kiss the surface. I still have modest power, and I may have used a bit more or less power in the flare to deal with turbulence. In this shot, I've slowed things down just a bit. There's a crosswind coming from the far side of the airplane, and the initial touchdown is on the far main wheel. As soon as the main wheel or wheels touch, I quickly release back pressure to stick it on, so to speak. I keep the stick forward, the aileron in, and reduce power as the plane slows. These are the critical seconds, slowing with the tail up, when a good side gust can cause the plane to weather vane and ground loop. So I'm busy on the rudders and ready with one brake if necessary to keep the plane running straight. After touchdown, the stick is held forward in either the left or right corner until the tail wheel touches, at which time it comes to a full back rear corner. Here's another crosswind hybrid with a nice gust just before touchdown. So 1600 RPM, left wing down, looking outside to flare and maintain direction. Touchdown, release back pressure, stick forward in the windward corner, constantly on the rudders, and when the tail finally settles, stick full back. And in this final shot, we have a left crosswind, and you can follow along with the front stick that is visible. As I approach, I'm thinking about the crosswind and what a gust could do to me after I touch down, namely, swing my tail to the right and shoot me off the strip to the left in a ground loop. So I'm thinking, get ready with the right rudder and maybe even the right brake. At the threshold, the wing is down, the power is in, rudder straight down the strip and keep centered. Start the flare and watch out the sides for my height and alignment. Ease down to the surface and release back pressure. Reduce power. Keep the stick forward. And aileron in. And watch out for that wind gust. I hope you've enjoyed watching and fly safe out there. This is Roger Dodger, over and out.